Have you ever said yes to something you desperately wanted to say no to, and then spent the next hour crafting a 3-paragraph text explaining why you couldn't do it? Or maybe you've caught yourself apologizing for setting a boundary, adding, "I'm so sorry, but," before every single no? What if I told you this isn't people-pleasing weakness? It's a sophisticated survival strategy your nervous system created to keep you safe. Psychology calls this fawning, the fourth trauma response no one talks about. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain does this, and why it might be your most underrated strength. If you've ever felt broken for being too nice, if you've been told you're too accommodating, or don't have a backbone, this video is for you. Because what others call weakness is actually your nervous system working overtime to prevent conflict before it starts. We're about to uncover 7 hidden signs of the Fawn Response behaviors you do every day that you've been judging yourself for. And the last one will completely reframe how you see yourself. Let's walk this path together. Sign number 1. You apologize for things that aren't your fault. Someone bumps into you on the sidewalk and you say sorry. You ask a clarifying question. You start with, "Sorry to bother you." When someone else's mistake impacts you, the apology somehow still comes from your lips. The word sorry has become your emotional seatbelt. You're not weak. You're using apology as a tool to de-escalate potential conflict before it begins. It's not about fault. It's about maintaining emotional safety in a world that once punished you for taking up space. For fawn types, sorry isn't admission of guilt. It's a peace offering. Your nervous system learned that taking responsibility, even when it's not yours, diffuses tension faster than defending yourself. This often develops when you were blamed unfairly as a child, or when standing up for yourself was met with punishment. Your brain created a shortcut. Apologize first, the danger passes. This isn't doormat behavior. It's strategic conflict resolution. You prioritize peace over being right. That's emotional maturity most people spend decades trying to learn. You're like a shock absorber. You take the impact so everyone else has a smooth ride. But there's something even deeper your body does. Number 2. You over-explain every decision. Have you ever declined an invitation and immediately launched into a detailed explanation? "I can't make it because I have this thing, and my schedule is packed, and I've been feeling overwhelmed." The no alone feels dangerous, so you buffer it with reasons. You build a fortress of justifications around a single word, hoping if you explain enough, they won't be hurt, they won't be angry, they won't leave. You genuinely believe you owe everyone an explanation, because at some point, saying no without one had consequences. The Fawn Response trains your brain to believe that other people's comfort is directly linked to your safety. When you were young, maybe disagreeing meant tension or punishment, so your nervous system learned, if I explain enough, they won't be angry. If they're not angry, I'm safe. This isn't a flaw in your character. It's a map drawn by your past. Your brain learned that a well-explained no was the safest path to peace. This is preemptive peacekeeping. You're a conflict prevention specialist. You read emotional climates and adjust before storms form. Think of yourself as a diplomat. You don't just communicate, you translate everyone's needs into solutions. And speaking of reading emotional climates, 3. You monitor everyone's mood in the room. You walk into a room and within seconds, you can tell who's uncomfortable, who's upset, who needs something. You're scanning faces, reading body language, adjusting your energy to match or soothe theirs. You're the emotional barometer everyone relies on, even when you wish you could just not notice. This isn't paranoia. You're hyper-attuned to emotional data because your nervous system learned that reading the room correctly meant staying safe. The Fawn Response heightens your sensitivity to social cues as a survival tool. If you grew up where someone's mood could shift unpredictably, your brain developed predictive empathy. You learned to sense danger before it arrived. This is your nervous system protecting you by staying 3 steps ahead. This isn't hypervigilance, it's advanced pattern recognition. You process emotional data faster than most people process logical information. In relationships, in leadership, in creative work, This makes you irreplaceable. And when you sense that tension building, your body does something automatic. If these signs are hitting home, know that you are not alone. This channel is a space for those of us who feel everything deeply. To continue this journey of self-discovery together, take a moment to subscribe. Understanding the why behind your actions is the first step toward conscious choice. Now, there's something even more painful your nervous system does. 4. You say yes and then resent yourself. You agree to something in the moment, help someone move, take on extra work, attend an event you don't want to go to. And the second you hang up, you feel regret and anger at yourself. Not at them for asking, at you for saying yes again. This isn't self-sabotage, it's nervous system override. Your Fawn response activates faster than your rational mind. Your body chooses safety over honesty, because historically honesty wasn't safe. When someone makes a request, your amygdala screams, say yes or risk rejection. So you agree. Later, when the adrenaline drops, your conscious mind catches up. Wait, I didn't want that. This is why you resent yourself, not them. You're punishing yourself for a survival response you didn't consciously choose. The resentment is your authentic self saying, I deserve to be heard too. That awareness is the beginning of change. It's like your body is a car with two drivers. Survival mode floors the gas, but your true self is reaching for the brake. The friction isn't failure, it's growth trying to happen. Sign number 5. You become who others need you to be. With your family, you're the responsible one. With friends, you're the fun one. At work, you're the reliable one. You shift, adapt, mold yourself to fit whatever role keeps the peace. But privately, you wonder, who am I when no one's watching? You're not fake. You're a chameleon. And that ability to adapt is a trauma response that kept you safe when being yourself wasn't an option. Fawn types develop what psychologists call identity fluidity. This happens when your authentic self was rejected or criticized in childhood. You learned, being me is dangerous, but being what they need, that's safe. So you became a mirror. It's not manipulation, it's survival through adaptation. This isn't identity crisis. It's radical empathy and social intelligence. You can read what people need and become it. In the right contexts, this makes you a connector, a bridge builder, irreplaceable. I once had 3 friends describe me in completely opposite ways. I panicked, thinking I was fake. Then I realized I was safe enough with each to show different parts of myself. That's not dishonesty. That's depth. Number 6. You feel responsible for other people's emotions. Someone's upset, and even if it has nothing to do with you, you feel responsible for fixing it. A friend is sad, you scramble to cheer them up. A family member is angry, you absorb it like it's your job to neutralize their pain. Their discomfort becomes your emergency. You're emotionally enmeshed because your nervous system learned that other people's pain was a direct threat to your safety. This is emotional over-responsibility, a hallmark of Fawn types. If you grew up with a caregiver whose emotions were unpredictable or who made you responsible for their feelings, your child brain concluded, if I keep them happy, I'm safe. If they're upset, I'm in danger. You became an emotional manager for people who should have been managing themselves. This is trained emotional labor. You developed skills in emotional regulation most people never learn. You can hold space for pain, metabolize tension, offer comfort. That's a gift. The key is learning when to use it by choice, not compulsion. You're like an emotional paramedic, but paramedics also know you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Your care has limits. That's not cruelty, that's wisdom. Sign number 7. You give until you're empty, then feel guilty for being tired. You show up for everyone, answer every text, attend every event, help every person, until one day you crash. You're exhausted, depleted, running on fumes, and instead of resting, you feel guilty. Guilty for being tired, guilty for wanting space, guilty for needing a break from giving. You're burned out from a survival strategy that never learned how to rest, because rest was not safe. Your nervous system has been in overdrive trying to keep everyone safe, and it's exhausted. Fawn types develop what's called compassion fatigue, but it's not compassion that's the problem, it's the compulsion. Your body gives and gives because the fawn response doesn't have an off switch. When you collapse, your nervous system forces you to rest, but your mind interprets rest as failure. It's not. Your body is screaming, I need you to survive differently now. This exhaustion is proof you've been strong for too long. Recognizing your limits isn't giving up, it's waking up. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to collapse to deserve it. You've been running a marathon at sprint speed. The finish line isn't collapse. It's learning to walk at your own pace. So here's the truth you need to hear. You're not broken for being a fawn type. You're brilliantly adapted. Every over-explanation, every apology, every yes you wanted to be no. It kept you safe. Your nervous system is a masterpiece of survival, but what kept you safe then doesn't have to run your life now. You don't owe anyone your comfort at the cost of your peace. You don't have to apologize for boundaries. You don't have to explain why you're protecting your energy. Fawning was a bridge that got you here, but you're allowed to build a new path now, one where your no is complete, where your needs matter, where your rest isn't earned. The fawn response isn't your weakness, it's proof you survived something that required you to disappear. But you don't have to hide anymore. You can be seen, you can take up space. You can exist without performing. That's not selfish, that's freedom. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's the very needle of your inner compass, proving you survived. And now, you get to decide which direction it points. Which of these 7 signs hit you the hardest? Was it the over-explaining, the mood monitoring, the guilt for being tired? Drop a number in the comments, 1 through 7, and tell me which one made you think, that's me. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today to stop feeling broken. If this video gave you permission to honor yourself, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's been carrying everyone but themselves. And if you've ever felt guilty for canceling plans just to stay home and recharge, that's our next conversation. We're exploring why choosing solitude over social pressure isn't avoidance, it's self-preservation. You'll want to see that one. Until then, you don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. Keep walking your path.